Good evening. I didn't announce that we will have a live today, but I feel that this is a right time for us to talk about what is a good life. And to live in this century and to ask the question what is a good life is maybe is essential for man in this century, because at this point we feel that people has no concern about the quality of life or what kind of life they want to live. They rather have the quality of life through the material that they gain and whatever they find out from their media, and it has a lot of meaning for their everyday life rather than to find out what is the life they want to live. So I feel that it's essential for us to talk about what is a good life. So there's no one definite answer to this question, but there are many ways to answer the question through philosophical ideas since the ancient Greek, or the psychological problems from the psychologists, or is a personal answer from each of us. So first we will talk about the philosophy that is the question that since the ancient time, since the Greek time, already asked this: what is a good life? For example, Aristotle, Socrates, and they found out that it's a life that you don't live just to live it, but it's a life of quality with reason and also virtue that we can find through, they call it eudaimonia, or human well-being. How can we live the life with has a good quality? By to have the well-being, both our physical and the mental. So it means that we have to live this life with a certain kind of end. Aristotle said, end in itself. Whatever do you do, it must be the end in itself. It means that the ideas of how to live the life with quality of life through reason and thinking for the sake of itself, because thinking with the reason, it's being bring the best of man to know what kind of life they want to live, and also relate to the question of ethics and values that you put into life. And it means that happiness is something that you have to do as the end in itself. It's not for anything else. That is the process of thinking, the contemplative life according to Aristotle. The same thing as Socrates. Socrates, who is a mentor of Plato, which we know about Socrates through Plato, that his very important phrase that is, an unexamined life is not worth living, which means that one have to think and observing oneself at all time. In learning about oneself, to have the knowledge of the self, or know thyself, is very important. So the Greek try to use the best of man, that is reason, and how to bring that reason out through our own action with virtue and same kind of leading through how to treat oneself and your environment, your society with virtue. And ethical virtue is very important for one to exist, which is very important for the modern time, because right now we are involved with all kind of propagandas and we don't know what is behind all these propagandas, which means that people will get the benefit out of it, not concerning about virtuous ideas. It's very good to hear from you, คุณณัฐพล คุณสหชาติ very nice to hear from you. Thank you. So the second thoughts on how to live this life or what is a good life is hedonist. The hedonist, when we talk about hedonism, we all know it's about the life of pleasure. But pleasure in that sense is not, the pleasure is just a modern sense of pleasure, but it's a pleasure that has the quality of it from the inside. In other words, it's a happiness through the pleasure that we can get from our food, our relationship to other people, and it's not only means that we are trying to escape from being suffered, but we are trying to have a peace of mind at the same time. So it means that how to bring out one's happiness at the most. So this is very common for us to understand, because all the development of mankind, we can see that we try to find pleasure out of our own suffering. For example, physical pleasure, and we try to save our energy in developing all kinds of equipments to make us easier to live, like all the technology. But it doesn't mean that with the technology we become better or happier, or maybe become, in a worse sense, we can be more suffering through this kind of easy life that we have. And as many people say that you don't work hard, but you go to the gym to work more, you know. So in this case, what kind of a life that we want to live more? So it's something for us to think about. Not only the hedonist, it's also the Stoics that also think about the good life. A good life, according to the Stoic that we talked about last week, good life is a life to live accordingly to natural surrounding and reasoning. And at one point, they accept fate as whatever happening, so we don't go against what's happening around us. So you accept it as it is. And one has to learn how to control oneself from what we can control, and we can just leave it if we cannot control it. Otherwise, you will struggling all your life to control everything. In fact, to control oneself is even harder, to know what is good for one and what can one live in this life. So in other words, it means that we have to learn how to accept things as they are. So then you can have peace of mind from within, and able to accept things as it is, and able to control yourself from within, not from the outside. For example, if you want to control things from the outside, it will be very difficult, because especially politics or environment or global warming, that you cannot do it by yourself. We have to do it with everybody else. Now, to think about the good life according to the modern psychologists, they are also concerned about well-being of mankind, and also the fulfillment that one can have towards one's life. Martin Seligman said about the well-being theory that must be consistent with positive emotion. One cannot live with a negative emotion. You can go crazy if you have negative one. But if you have positive emotion, no matter how worse the things around you are, but you still can live with hope and love and joy, only if you have the positive understanding of things around you. So I think that being positive is the only thing that you can survive. And you will find out that many negative people cannot survive well. Either they commit suicide, or they can live with all kinds of disease because of their negative feelings towards things around them. So positive is very important. And second, they say that you got to have some kind of activities that help you to do whatever you like to do with love and enjoyment, which means that you got to find your hobbies. Like Kun Natapon, he loves to playing music, he loves to go fishing, he loves to enjoy with his kids, and that is a one way for one to live this life well. It means that the activities that you have, you do it with love and enjoyment. That is very important for one to exist. And the third one, they said, it's important for one to have deep relationship to those around you with a positive way of living together with the family, with the loved ones, and the society. You cannot go against those around you by being negative, same thing as the first one. But now this is one they stress upon the relationship between one and those around you. They found out that those who can live well and long because they have good relationship with yourself, with those whom you love, the job that you do, your friends at your place and your society, and this is what keeps one can exist well in this life. Now the fourth one is you got to have some kind of attention or intention towards what you call success. What do you want to do in your life? What is your point of that you want to make your life successful? Either, well, I'm Ellie Dickinson once, and I repeat what she said, that, well, for me, success means you grow flowers in your garden, make the world a little bit more prettier. So success doesn't mean that something very big, but it's something that surrounds you and make you satisfied and being happy with it. So in this case, you got to find out what is your success in life. It's not something big, but it's something that you're satisfied with it and make it more pleasingly to yourself. One of my one person whom I know that he always like to feed fish around the area, and feeding the fish is make him feel comfortable and very happy to be with the fish and let them be fulfill themselves with the food that he give. So these are different point of view according to the psychologist Seligman. Now, if you look at the personal view of each of us, you can see that good life for many people. Some say that a simple life is good life for him. For example, some people just ignore all the material things around him and able to connect with the natural surrounding and spend time with the loved ones. In this case, they call success for them, for their life. So this is what they call a good life for that person. Second kind of life means that you are facing the world with some kind of challenging. I know a group of friend of mine who always go diving, always go safari world to face all the animals that you cannot find that easily, and see something very excitement in their life by going diving or whatever. And it's a bit challenging to their safety in life too. But this is their adventure that they think is full of meaning for them. And the third kind of life is that the life that you sacrifice yourself to those around you, those who go and help the neighbor, those who go and help with the borderline, or those who are suffering in fire, you can go and help them to survive. So this depends on what kind of thing that you feel is more important for you. Helping others is your attention or your aim in life. And some of the people live through the life of creative kind of life, which means you have to leave some kind of work behind you, like poetry or painting or whatever you think that is worthwhile for you to let even though you leave the world, but you still have the job, the legacy for those who are behind you. Yeah. Many people love to write books, love to write articles, and let many people read and learn about life and everything that in their time. So this is for them is a good life. So now we in summary, if we find out what is a good life is depends on is what you want to choose. When you choose the life that you want, it means that you have to find out first who are you, what kind of life you want to live. Let's go back to what Socrates said, know thyself. You got to observe yourself first, what you are good at. If you're good in writing poetry, you're good in playing music, or you're good in writing novel or whatever, or painting or whatever, you will develop that and give the world of what you create, and it means many things for yourself and those around you. So in order to know what is a good life, I think the first thing is you have to observe yourself first, what kind of life you want to live and what are you good at in order to live the life that you want to live. And life in observing yourself and the society and your relation to others, it doesn't come from only looking at your mobile phone every day or become the victim of the media all day long. It means that you have to find a quiet place. I know a lady who loves solitude, and she can stay in solitude for a long time, and that makes her life meaningful because she can reflect upon herself, her thoughts, and many other things. And she's become very influential to the modern Thai people right now. Yeah, you can take a look at her writing and everything. Maybe I will repeat it again. Is Kun Ying Jamnongsi, who love solitude and be with herself, and this is very important. I would say that to be by yourself, to learn about yourself, to learn about who you are, you need time. You not become the victim of the media around you, but you can reflect upon yourself, your thoughts, write it down and learn it more. Finding about who you are is not easy because you always look out, but you never look inside. So not the point you want to teach your kids learn how to learn about themselves. Right now, your daughter and your son is growing up so fast, and they can do a lot of things. They have to write down diary. They have to write diary every day and reflect upon why they are thinking that way, why they are good at this, and why they like to do it. And this is one way for one to learn about oneself and what is meant by a good life. I think this is a very good starting. Now, any question or any comments, please do so. No question, no comments? So in that case, I has no more further things to say to you, and if you have no comments, no question, I may end up soon. I will wait for a few more minutes for you to write any comments. Today I didn't announce that I will have a live today, but it customary that when I do the live in Thai yesterday, the next day I will do in English. Because one of my friends back in France said, well, why don't I do in English too so people can listen. I don't know whether it's not is good enough or whether or not it's worthwhile for anybody to listen. and I feel that my students and those who are learning about philosophy and all kinds of things, maybe we can enjoy it all together. So that's why I'm doing it today. Any questions? Any comments? So this is a very fast ending. Oh, if you have any comments or question outside, you can write it down later on. Thank you. See you sometime next week. Bye bye.